Can people change? Of course you can change. I had some low points in my life that I've recovered from. So yeah, people can change. Sometimes it's funny, like when I was in high school, I had this pretty devastating kind of low point. I felt like I had imposter syndrome. Like I wasn't even sure that it was me anymore. I used to be this very good student, thought I was pretty clever. And there was a point where I was just, really not, performing very well at school at all. And I wondered what was going on. It was really just depression. After I solved my depression, I realized, all those other issues I had were really related to the depression, nothing more. And that was surprising. And, it was in a lot of ways really nice in the sense that, like, you can be your own worst enemy, and your psychology does drive a lot of the things that a lot of your realities are driven by, psychological dynamics that you can't control. Sometimes it's out of your control, and you just have to, try to focus on things that will make your mental health better. It sounds like you have some self-esteem issues, for example. It was the autism. Nibbles is here. The queen is here. And she's about to be joined by by her big sister, aka Trashy, the one and only. And Trashy is confirmed to be moving in. So we will be seeing Trashy plus Nibbles. I don't know if Nibbles is going to show any deference. I'd agree with that, but I don't. Yeah, we're going to have Trashy. My dad was taking care of Trashy. Now that my dad has passed, we always thought Trashy would pass before my dad. I'll be taking care of the little old lady. Trashy is an old lady. Of course I want my old league name back. Dogs are loyal. Cats are kind of sociopaths. I agree with that. I solved the depression by going to the doctor. I mean, thank you for asking. I'm looking at the Twitch questions now. Look, I mean, depression's no different from the physical illness. You have to. Depression is like any other disease. It's not something that you can really beat, honestly, very easily without medicine. And I know there's a lot of people in the red pill Andrew Tate space that think that that's not cool and depression's not real. Andrew Tate's, look, I mean, I consider the Tates friends and I like them, but depression is a real serious subject, and there's nothing wrong with getting professional help, especially if other things haven't worked for you. I don't think propranolol is effective. It's not a psychiatric medicine. People give it for some reason, largely because it's non-psychotropic. So the good news is it's not psychotropic. The bad news is it's not psychotropic. So yeah, we'll talk about stocks, sure. Can't change your brain chemistry. Well, I don't disagree. Prozac's good. I mean, all the SSRIs are good. They're not miracles. Not every drug is a miracle. I think that's one of the things people don't necessarily remember about medicines, that just because there is a medicine doesn't mean it's a great medicine. SSRIs are kind of okay. They're not miracles. But yeah, they're good. They work. They're just not fantastic. The effect size, that's like how well it works, is not very high, and the side effect profile is not. It's largely benign. I mean, but it's not. There are side effects, so it's certainly not without side effects. But the side effects are relatively mild. I mean, they're largely relate to sexual side effects. Yeah, we're making a Bloomberg alternative. So Bloomberg kicked me off Bloomberg. I'm not allowed to. Yeah, I'm not allowed to be a Bloomberg user. It's really funny. Well, I mean, our company's dedicated to ruining their existence, so it kind of makes sense. They're a big company, though. I don't think of us as a gigantic threat, but.
Did they give a reason for why, or just?
Nope. Martin Shkreli is not allowed to be a Bloomberg customer, no matter how much money he pays Bloomberg. No matter how many years he's been a loyal Bloomberg customer, no go. Oh, SBF has some issues. He's definitely. I think they'll find him guilty in about 5 minutes, but he has one card left to play. One card that may get him a chance, a prayer
The silver for defense.
The silver for defense. He has a chance. It's not a good chance, mind you, but it's a chance. And right now, that's all he's got. And that means that Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF, has to take the stand. The ultimate bad idea for virtually any criminal defendant. Your ex is still saying you're calling her in the media. What are you talking about? Little monster, who's my ex? The girl from jail. What are you talking about? The girl from jail. Do you have a name? Your ex is still saying you're calling her in the media. Talking to what? Who? A Billy. I honestly think that money is no longer valuable. That's kind of a crazy perspective, but money is losing its relevance, honestly. Especially with the gigantic amount of debt the U.S. is. Honestly, I think it's attention. It's an odd, thing to say, but I really do think that's kind of the new money.
With attention, eyeballs, etc.
Yeah, followers. I did Halloween as a kid. Yeah, I was like a very serious little kid. Like, I wasn't like that into Halloween. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the U.S. got into hyperinflation. But I do remember some of my costumes. I was a Ninja Turtle. I was Dracula. Yeah, I wasn't that into costumes, I guess, now that I look back at it. Must have done a couple more.
Any specific application that you're thinking
Audio, video.
might be taken?
Yeah, video diffusion models could be really interesting.
That's gonna be wild.
Yeah.
I imagine misinformation campaigns might get really bad there too, though. I mean, they're already pretty,
Yeah. There's always good with bad. When Fire came out, people were like, yo, I can heat my house. And then some people were like, yeah, but what if you burn somebody's house? Fire was...
Yeah.
I remember when that came out, people were upset. Like, ban fire, yo! And other people are like, nah, chill. Fire might be all right. And people to this day are still misusing fire.
I mean, you can't really prevent people from using fire, so that.
They tried to ban that.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, I guess, for people to have tools that they can use to really, like, make their own art, make their own films, games, whatever, using these models, without necessarily needing billions of dollars to board their things.
Oh, here's some interesting stuff. This is... don't ask me how I got this. This is... This is the list of investors from FTX. This, unfortunately, is not accessible by me because I'm not from or part of FTX. But it's the list.
There's a bunch of stuff that got leaked. Your investor list.
Yeah, so this is that, and this is all the people from Sequoia who invested, all the people from Paradigm. I know.
Do you think they're all going to get paid back?
I do.
No.
I do actually. But that's a whole other story that talk about some other
There's some
time.
hot emails too, man. Save those emails.
Yeah, here's SoftBank, who put in quite a bit of money. Yeah, no Masayoshi-san email here, but Third Point. I like how it says in parentheses, Dan Loeb's fund. This guy testified, Burajurdi. Insight, who's a very, very big fund, but these guys, Ribbit, I guess they're a big fund too now.
All those guys are huge.
Most of these funds are big.
That's like the top of the food chain there.
Most of these funds are big, which is why like none of these were like really that surprising, because they're all like just like slightly, they're like hits, not big hits for anybody really.
But didn't you used to do like private company evaluations?
If I have their financials, it's easy. I just need their financials. I don't have their financials.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is all the people invested in FTX Series B. Here's the B1, here's the C, here's the C1. And then this is interesting. This is a list of all their employees and their personal emails. Carolyn's email was t2themoon@gmail.com.
Do you have a list of their positions and tokens?
It's also, no, it's got their positions in FTX stock. So this is how many shares. Well, this is the common shares. So she had 500,000 common shares. I don't know what this is exactly, but I think she had 13 mil in FTX as deposit.
I mean, because if you have the token positions, you can short them before they pay back to their investors. I think the majority of them are small cap.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the case, but regardless, here's Constance Wang, Romnick, of course. This guy is a very unique character. Nobody's mentioned his name, but he was very early at this, and he just kind of has disappeared. These two guys snitched. Both testified at trial.
Do they have the preferred share?
Yeah, that's all the series B and C.
Who was like the biggest owner of the preferred share?
Sequoia. Yeah, Sequoia. Then there's a list of all of the people that got lines of credit from FTX. So here's the list. Well, there's one outlier here. I don't know if you can see my screen, but one very large group that had a nice line of credit. No, Citadel did not invest. Yeah, so
Citadel's not dumb enough to get involved with FTX, I don't think.
Genesis had 150 million line of credit. This guy had 50 mil. Tower Research at 38. That's a kind of a high frequency trading firm. Jump Trading as well. TrueEdge invested.
There's so much money, Martin.
Well, these are lines of credit to trade with. And then Alameda had a $65 billion line of credit, and that's where all the fraud kind of came in. So yeah, this was the spreadsheet that basically proved the fraud, because they showed that there was just a bunch of money missing. Net negative $5 billion.
And 81 cents.
Yeah, you know, who's...
Why do you really do all this with an Excel spreadsheet?
Oh yeah.
This was just boggles my mind. I mean,
Yeah, it's really wild. I have a lot of information, a lot of stuff around this trial, a lot of the players, but you know, at the end of the day, what can you say? I mean, it's just such a crazy situation.
you can't leave it as far as they did without, investors doing the proper due diligence and that whole thing. I mean,
Well, they also, to be fair to the investors, I think that they lied to them, right? So they were scam-a-lamming.
the onion, man, you just keep peeling. There's just more. I mean, there's ways you can catch people like this. It's not that hard.
Well, look, I mean, there's a bunch of funds that declined. One of the biggest, I guess I'm outing them, but the other biggest VC in the world I talked to about why they passed. Sequoia is either number one or number two, depending on how you're counting it. Well, the other number one or number two passed, and they thought he was a scam artist. And they were right.
Well, yeah.
So they said no, thank you.
Yeah, some dude comes here, I'm so jacked on Adderall, on a t-shirt. I mean, it's like kind of a red flag, you know?
For the other green ones, to be honest. For an losses to the bond trading fund? No, that's green flag. Silver foil. Silver foil is the biggest red flag in all this.
Yeah, Loops, exactly. Loops knows. Yeah, I don't think Sam's going to be running for president. Maybe president of the tier.
Well, it's the
President of C3.
bankruptcy guys call. The bankruptcy guys call up. They
Yeah, right.
Coming in the next day, Martin.
No.
Well, she didn't though. I mean, she was literally, yeah.
God's gift.
I mean, she's gonna end up in jail for something.
I don't know if she's gonna she says she thinks she's not going to do time, and the other two clowns said the same. Bruh, I've never.
Like, everyone thinks they're not going to do time.
Like, bruh. I don't think the Saudis are involved, but my point is, BRUH, bruh, you are a co-conspirator to one of the biggest crimes ever, and you're asking for time served? Look, I hope you get it. Jail sucks, you know? But good luck.
I heard that they took it was like $12 billion or something.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to one guy, again, an insider, at lunch today. He said every single FTX and Alameda insider still has a different number. Nobody knows, how much was really, what the situation was.
Well, the bankruptcy trustees unraveling it, isn't he?
Slowly, but he's kind of not really responsible for Alameda, right? So it's kind of like a funky kind of situation,
These people are just going to be chilling in the jail for years. From now on, people in suits are going to take them away. Like, it's just going to unravel so slowly.
Yeah, it's a fascinating situation.